Well, hey everybody, Matt here, and I thought I'd show you. I'd show you a project I did for a friend of mine. It's got a pretty neat little workflow in it. It's from the phone to Lightroom to Photoshop and back. So it kind of seemed like a cool project when I did it, and I figured I'd share just the workflow with you. So here's the idea: is her daughter goes to this school, all right? There's the full version of it. And she wanted a nice canvas print for her bedroom for it. So the schedules and everything didn't have time to really go make it happen and take the picture. So what I told her to do is two things. I said, take your phone, because she didn't have a camera. I said, take your phone, put it on pano mode and try it. If not, then go in and do 3 different pictures. So there's 1, there's 2, and then there's the third one over there. So go in and just do 3 pictures of it, all right? And then give them to me and I can do something with it. Well, we happen to be out and I just said, well, I was on my phone. I said, email them. So she emailed them over. I just put them right into Lightroom Mobile, which then just got them right over onto my desktop. It made it easy. So what do we do here? Well, I can tell you the Pano app version of it, okay? It wasn't giving. She had actually a really good eye for this, and she wanted some of the trees in that. And just incidentally, I actually told her to go there in the morning first. And I got to admit, and this is from a self-proclaimed like total light snob. I always want golden light. I actually don't think it looks that good. It's got the shadows, and I don't think it looks as good as the later morning shots do. So, for what it's worth, we ended up going with these photos here. So, I'm in Lightroom. I'm going to go photo down here to photo merge to Panorama, and so it stitches together really quick. And if you haven't seen this yet, it's in one of the newer versions of the Lightroom CC version. This boundary warp is amazing because this happens with all of our panos, right? Unless you're meticulous about a pano head and all that, which I'm not. All these edges, you usually have to crop them out or try to fill them in. Boundary warp just freaking rocks at getting rid of all that stuff there. It's amazing. So anyway, so I'm done. I mean, there's nothing else to do. I'm going to hit merge. Merges it together and gives us one final photo here in a second that we can start to play with. All right. So honestly, guys, not too much post-processing needed here. A basic panel, I probably boost the shadows a little bit, kind of pull down the highlights just a little bit. Option or Alt click on the whites, drag the slider. I kind of do it until I get a couple little specks there. Same thing over on the black side. Do that till I get a couple little specks. Maybe warm it up a hair. Maybe a little bit of vibrance to boost the color, but I mean, it's got a lot of great color in it. A little bit of clarity. I'd come down here, zoom in. It's got a lot of detail. I mean, she wanted to print it on canvas, which was my first, that's why I was like, just use your iPhone because you'll never know. We can take our spot healing brush and clone a couple of those guys out there. But that's why I was like, you'll never know. We can sharpen this thing, but seriously, it is plenty sharp. Especially considering it's getting printed on canvas, which isn't going to be quite as, it's not quite as detailed. It's not going to require quite as much of the photo. So I think we'll be just fine there. I did go to lens correction. So here's where we can diverge. All right. I go to basic, turn on the profile corrections. Done. I tried the upright stuff. Auto did a pretty good job at just leveling everything across. I think level did about the same thing as auto did. Nothing else worked as far as that. You'll see a little bit of curvature here. So we could go over here to manual and I could try to, work with the distortion, but look at it. Like even to try to get most of it gone, I'd have to kill the photo. So this isn't working. Aspect ratio, see here, it's just stretching it out. So nothing's really working there. Honestly, guys, I would say I could be done. I might take my spot healing brush and there's a couple little specks and stuff on the ground in the foreground, but I'd be done here. I really wouldn't worry about it, especially considering the client. The client is not going to be somebody that's going to be that demanding when it comes to having lines that are perfectly fixed and whatnot. But if you wanted to go the extra step, you could jump over to Photoshop and there's a tool in there that can help with it. So if under the filter menu, you can go to adaptive wide angle, and I'm not going to go crazy with this, but what you do is you click on a corner here. So I'm going to click on the top left corner, and you can see on the right hand side, it actually gives you a zoomed in view. So you can actually zoom in and see it. Go over here, click on the corner on the right hand side. And then if I hold down on my shift key, what it'll do is it'll actually use some kind of auto magic stuff and look at it. It straightens it out. Okay. If you want to get really meticulous, you can start going and doing the same thing down here. So what'll happen is it actually does a lot of pushing and pulling to try to keep your lines straight. So I could click over here and then go and then click down here again. And it tries to follow, and you can see it kind of nudges things a little bit. So again, I don't know that I would go that far with it. I think just having what we did right at the top here, which was just that line at the top, works just fine. And you can see here, you can grab these little guys and you can kind of, gives you a little angle setting there and try to get it perfect. Again, I could try to manipulate the right side a little bit, but I'm actually pretty happy with it. I'm going to click OK. I'm done. You know, I don't need to spend that much time on it. There's a little section we lost up here from the adaptive wide angle. I just hit the letter J for my spot healing brush, and I'm just going to scribble over it. And that'll pretty much get rid of it there, so that works out really good. At this point, file, save. I don't want to change the name, I want to change the location, just file, save, and then I will end up back over here inside of Lightroom. And oh no, that's not there we go. And there's our final photo. So again, I just thought it was kind of a neat project. It was it's kind of low budget. You know, we got all these expensive cameras and stuff like that, but I thought it was kind of neat to see what I could do with a friend with a shoot that I couldn't be at, who didn't have a camera, and still make a really nice photo of it. They ended up printing it. They ended up printing, I think it was a 20 by 30 canvas. I'm telling you guys, you would never know this thing came off of an iPhone. The detail is just fine. If you're curious about image size, here, I'll go into here in Photoshop, image size. Let's change this to inches. So look at that. At 240, I can go 18 by 12 with it. All right. And if I'm willing to go down on the resolution, which she did, you can get even higher with that. So, and it looks just fine. So don't sweat that stuff too much. And her daughter was absolutely happy with it. Everything was good. Oh, one last thing. So this was during the hockey playoffs and they had Go Bolts there. I'll just give you an idea of what I did. And I gave them both versions because she actually wanted it gone. And I was like, why do you want it gone? The Lightning's in the hockey playoffs here. But I just copied and pasted and started dragging pieces of this around. And it takes a little doing. It's not an exact, or I dragged that one. There we go, right over to the left side. It's not a 2-minute fix, but with some copying and pasting, I actually got to the point where even she didn't know it was there. Now, if you zoomed in, you could see it, but nobody's really going to zoom in on that. But thankfully, they actually left the sign there, even though the Lightning's not in the playoffs anymore. But we can hope for next year. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you again real soon.